Today I want to talk to you about some of the additional attributes of the human heart. And the first thing we need to know, of course, is where is the heart? It is not, as George W. Bush said, there, that's your stomach. Nor is it there, that's your left lung. If you take your left arm and just fold it upwards from the elbow so that the fingers point at an angle of 45 degrees towards the right shoulder and the root of the little finger is on your breastbone, sternum, then, and your thumb is folded in, then your heart is exactly here. Now, the reason why it is believed that the heart is on the left is because it's not just at an angle in this way, it's also at an angle in this way. This is why when you go to the doctor's, when he gets his stethoscope out, he goes here, and then he goes here and here. Because the two large chambers of the heart, the ventricles, are at the front on the left, around here. And the two small chambers, the atria, are on the right at the back. But the heart itself is exactly in the middle of the body. So when you feel the transmission which follows this, you're going to feel it here, not here, not here, but here. Now, recent discoveries, although possibly ancient knowledge, whatever, shows that if you combine so-called positive and so-called negative feelings, you get something very, very interesting. Now, here I must point out that these terms, positive and negative, they are judgments. They've got nothing to do with objective reality, they're just personal judgments about, well, whatever. What you mean is, I didn't like that. It's negative. Oh, that's nice, that's positive. But it's just, your personal choice about how you react to the experience. Not objective knowledge. Very important point to know. Now, the heart itself, the turbine, not a pump, the turbine, has a number of problems associated with it, medically speaking, and it is the second, yes, after pharmaceutical medicine, it's the second most common cause of death. The third is cancer. And what we find is that the problems with the heart have very much to do with emotions which are, so we say, separated. That is, they're not integrated with your being. And so they begin to literally tear the heart apart. So you have things like anger and frustration, which are all liver things. And you have this self-perception as a victim, which is also liver. The left end of the liver. The right end is the anger and frustration. The left end is the victim consciousness. If you try to keep those separate, that is, reject them, then they run your life at arm's length. That is, you experience the effect, and then you say, well, oh, how did that happen? Well, it happened because you rejected a part of yourself. Similarly, the lungs are the main area of storage of sadness, the small intestine, regret. And again, these will weaken the heart. Because again, you are rejecting part of your life experience. You're trying to convince yourself that it didn't happen. Now, there's a very, very interesting feeling. And it is a feeling. For most people, at the moment, it's just a word. but it's going to become very, very important well, in 2017 and increasingly after that. And this word is kindness. A kindness is a feeling. It's an energy movement. And you'll find that if you combine it with the feelings you've been rejecting, the so-called negative feelings, they transform. The anger and frustration which cause the irregularities in the heartbeat, because what happens is the liver gradually gets so hot that it has to give off heat in order to survive, and the heart gets a big chunk of that. So the heart overheats and you get this irregular rhythm. Similarly, a lot of sadness will cause the heart muscle to degenerate. It becomes very, very weak. So it's cold energy. See, anger, frustration is hot energy. Sadness, regret are cold energy. And if you get a mixture, and this is often the case, of a constant change between hot and cold energy, then the heart literally begins to fall to pieces. Which is why, as I say, it's the second most common cause of terminating your incarnation contract. So what we're going to do in the transmission which follows is that we're going to feed the frequency of kindness into your heart. This will naturally connect with the anger, frustration, the victim consciousness, and the sadness and the regret, and transform them. So anger and frustration plus kindness becomes action, doing what you want to do. Whereas anger and frustration is blaming the world for you not doing what you want to do. Add kindness to it, transform it, and suddenly you become active and do what you want to do without hurting anybody else. As a natural movement. Sadness and regret, mix them with kindness. What do you get? Compassion. An extremely valuable attribute which every human needs for their spiritual growth. Compassion is the most important feeling for this change from the age of materialism, the patriarchat, into the new age of community. So this transmission has a very large importance for you and everyone around you. So just go there and enjoy. Thank you. Namaste.